What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Bama After Dark. And yes, football season is just less than 2 weeks away. Actually, got week zero games this week. So yeah, football season's back, baby. And unfortunately, not really unfortunately, but kind of does suck that one of our star players is hurt. It's going to be out for a few weeks. We're going to talk about that tonight. I got a few bold predictions. Thank you all for joining. Not going to be here too long, but yeah, it's football season, guys. Um, how's everybody doing? Got three people in. Let me know what you think. In the comments, who you are, where you're listening from. But yeah, the injury bug for Bama. We know that Jaden Roberts, James Smith has not really played much and practiced much because of injury. Not really sure exactly. We got Tristan, the mayor of T Town, in. Tristan, thank you for joining, buddy. Rick and Bonnie listening from Huntsville. Tristan's actually from Montgomery. How you the mayor of T Town if you're from Montgomery? Hey, I need that. Nah, you cool, bro. You good. Not. I'm just messing with you. But thank you all for joining. But I saw an article today where I didn't really know what Jaden Roberts, his injury was. Come to find out it was a concussion. Hopefully he can be 100%. He's going to have 2 more weeks, less than 2 weeks, really, to get healthy. Because they're not really going to start game planning and practice again, I think, until the week of the season. So hopefully he can get right and be out there week one. I do believe Kellen DeBoer does believe he's going to be there. Uh, I get the red carpet tribute every time. Anytime, man, I love that. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. James Smith, Kellen DeBoer has also said he's going to be able to play. But we all know after last Saturday scrimmage, we have lost Jam Miller for at least a few weeks, at least 4 to 5 weeks. We know of. They're saying that he dislocated his collarbone, which in this instance, it's a lot better to have a dislocation than have a complete break. So that's good for him. He is, in an arm sling, but the doctors have said that it's going to heal properly and it's going to heal pretty quick. So I think getting him back, and Kevin DeBoer said he should be back by by SEC play. So for SEC play, we play Florida State, we play I know we play Wisconsin. I forgot who the second team is. We play Louis and Monroe. So don't really need him, I wouldn't think, against those teams. Then you have an off week for him to get even more healthy. And then you have Georgia. Georgia's, we got to go to Georgia. And my mindset, honestly, on this, guys, is Jam Miller, I think he's going to run with a nasty attitude once he gets that first carry in that Georgia game, if he's back by then. And I say that because, he's going to be on the sideline, not dressed out. He's not going to be out there with his brothers. And, it's just going to be eating at him. And he's like, man, my boys are doing great, but I want the rock myself. So I just have a feeling come that Georgia game, if he's able to get on the field, man, he's going to run with anger. He's going to run over people, and that might bode well for Alabama in that game. So yeah, I'm excited. Hate that he got hurt because he is our senior leader, but I'm grateful enough for the opportunity, and I'm fine, and I think we're going to be okay. With the God, we're just loaded at running back anyway. Richard Young, he's probably going to get more, the most snaps right now. And then you've got Daniel Hill, which has made a huge impact this camp and this fall camp. Coach staff's really high on him. So as the year goes on, I really thought that it was going to be Jam Miller and Richard Young, but I really think Daniel Hill is going to start taking some of Richard Young's opportunities because I just think he's that good. So yeah, other than that, the tight ends, a few of them are hurt, banged up. Danny Lewis really hasn't done much this camp. He's kind of hurt. Josh Cuevas is also hurt. He hasn't really practiced much. I expect them to be I don't know if they'll be 100% come week 1 against Florida State, but they'll be on the field. Just we'll just keep an eye on that. I do think there's outside of that, they're just the tight end room is so talented. There's just no experience hardly. So we'll see how that goes. But I think if those guys miss any time, the players we have stepping up, the Marshall Pritchard is just Pritchett is just having an outstanding camp. So keep an eye on that kid, and he's just a freshman. Other than that, let's see. Rick and Bonnie said, I think about Saban saying, y'all just think we just shit on another player. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Yeah, what did y'all, I saw that over, I think it was last night, not before, whenever Coach Saban was at the at his Legacy Awards, and he was talking about Greg McElroy and what he said about Greg McElroy. So Greg, and I agree with this. Greg McElroy was a fine quarterback, but Saban said if he would have said that when he was still playing for me, I would have kicked his ASS. I love that. And I'm not going to give Greg McElroy too much headache here, but he was good in his own right, but he has, to me, and I understand you're in media now, you really can't boast about being out from Alabama, so you got to kind of play the neutral field and be neutral. But I see guys like who's on TV every single, a lot. I'm on every weekend. I know Roman Harper, Mark Ingram. They go to bat for Alabama every single time they're on TV. I guarantee Alabama could have an 0-12 years, and those guys would go for bat for Alabama and say, no, they're going to win this game. And I'll tell you why they're going to win this game. Greg McElroy is now playing the field. This just seems like he cares more about that than the university and the people who cheered him on when he was there. So, it's kind of a fine line there, but I kind of agree with Saban. And I mean, I just feel like if you went to that university, you even though you're in the media, the national media, it's okay to be kind of homerish, because I mean, you've won national championships at this place. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that. Biscuit and SEC guys, thank y'all for joining. Greg McElroy should have to run 10 stadiums. Whew, good night. I wouldn't even make it through one stadium before I'm dead. Though I remember doing just bleachers in high school when I played football, and thankfully I played in a 2A school district, so we only had maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think our very top step was like 6 rows up, so just 6 rows on both sides, up and down. Maybe the length was maybe five steps on each side of the home and away side. So yeah, it wasn't too painful for me. But stadiums, oh good gosh, I bet that'd be rough. Thank you boys for listening. I said this last week. Biscuits and SEC, they're right here on this channel, the After Dark network. They do a live on Wednesday night. I think it's about 6:30. Man, it's just awesome stuff. Love these guys and their content. They also have a newsletter. I forgot to mention that last week. They got a newsletter, and check that out as well. It's really, really good reads, and Bossman and Hammer are just great guys. And on our show that we all come together on Thursday nights. This Thursday night, boys and girls, 6. Thank you. 7 Eastern, 6 Central. So mark it down and watch it, because it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But Bossman and Hammer, I think everybody's going to be on next week. Might be missing or this week, but maybe missing Jeb, but picks are back. So if you watch our show on Thursday night, I know, everybody loves picks. So tune in because we're going to have our picks. I believe it's coming back this week. Biscuits and SEC. Thanks, Jake. Love Bama After Dark. Appreciate it, guys. All the best for you guys. And we're all in this together. We love the SEC. And we all have our own shows talking about Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia, Biscuit and SEC or A&M fans. But we collectively come together and we can talk about the SEC and about other teams because we're level headed and we're level, we're sound minds pretty much. I guess is the good word to say. We're not going to like lose our crap on you if you disagree with if I say something bad about A&M. They're not going, they'll disagree, but we can talk through it. We're not going to have a shot match on, on national TV here on YouTube. So we just have a great time, and can't thank enough for Steven putting this together, and it's growing. This platform is growing, and it's growing daily, thanks to our fans and our listeners, but also for the new shows that are coming in. My new shows in here, Biscuits and SEC. I think you guys have been on in this maybe about a year and a half, 2 years now. You've been on this channel, on this After Dark network, and Mike Huseman, he's doing all season After Dark. So, and then Corey and Israel are doing the Regular Guys podcast. So there's so many shows, so many ways to get content, football content. So if you're an Alabama fan, if you're an A&M fan, if you just love the SEC, Tennessee, Jeb's a Tennessee fan, got to get his show going. But we just love the SEC, and it's just growing. So, anyway, again, Jay Lewis shows. I think Ty is going to put pressure on the defense each down, plus help the O line get us in the right play. People are sleeping on him as a runner. Tristan, I agree. I heard little snippets of practice and the scrimmage, the last scrimmage they had, and what I was told and what I heard was people was underestimating Ty's running ability. I think he had a 30 yards touchdown run on the ground. So I think being a dual threat quarterback is going to help him out. And the offensive line, I think they're really underrated this year. A lot of people has been down on Caden Proctor. But I think you're going to see a different Caden Proctor this year. You're going to see the Caden Proctor that's probably going to be a top 10, perhaps a top 5 pick in this coming year's draft. So, or next year's draft. So, and get Roberts healthy is going to be huge. But I really feel like this offensive line is going to turn some heads this year. Biscuits and SEC. It says almost 2 years now. We'll do our 47th show tomorrow night on the After Dark Network. When you guys get it on the 50th show, have your 50th, you're going to have like a two hour extravaganza and like put like get a segment for having me on, have Jeb on, I'm just kidding. But no, that'd be pretty cool. That's awesome, guys. It's it seems like you guys started all this and kicked it off for us. So it's coming together and it's awesome. It's awesome to be here. So a few bold predictions. I'm going to talk about this for I got a few. And I think I shared one of them on I know me and Stacy have talked about it on Tide Talk, and I shared one of them on SEC After Dark, but I'll go ahead and say that one just to kick us off. But and I know Hammer and Boss Man, I think it was more Boss Man, is kind of leery about DJ Lagway. But if Lagway, and that's the biggest question mark in this bold prediction, if he stays healthy, I really think Florida's going to have a great year, and I really think they're going to be in the SEC championship game. That's my bold prediction. Sure. Yeah. Wow. Now that's a great idea. Could do an after dark extravaganza. That would be pretty cool. We could get on and talk and each talk about the games that week because I think the third week Alabama plays Wisconsin. So, I can get on there and we can talk about that and then I can just do a little quick prediction and then you move on to the next one. That would be fun, actually. But I just that's something we could potentially do, and I would like to do on my show here. Hopefully, to start growing a little bit more and get more viewers. And then on my 50th show, do something similar because that'd be fun as well. One big mirror personality pit. Okay, well, they're not too far off, but like I said, and I think we're all in agreement with this. DJ Lagway's got to stay healthy for Florida to be successful. So I like the kid; he's uber talented, but just the injury issues is the big knockoff. Tough as nails. Roll Tide, y'all. Tough as nails. Thank you for joining. Can Lagway still stay healthy? That's the biggest issue. That's the biggest question mark. If he can, I really think they have a good year. Um, Another bold prediction, and it's very bold. And by the way, let me say this before I go any further. Stacy and I have now made a Discord for Tide Talk. So you get on Discord and you look up Tide Talk Live. You can find our Discord. I'll see if I can get in here whenever this is posted, and I'll see if I can add the link to it. Excuse me. That way you can join. We have an off topic. Excuse me. Got an off topic section. We've got we talk about Alabama football, Alabama basketball. We have just a section about sports of Alabama. We've got an area in there where we may have a meetup. Me and Stacy try to go to one game. We need to try to get to a game together one year and meet everybody. Just have not been able to make our schedules work. I'll go down there one time, and he'll get down there one time. Just kids and all that now, and everything going on. So it's just kind of hard. But one of these days, we're hoping to meet up with everybody. But on there, this next bowl prediction I've already said on there, so you can go check it out. But I'll tell you guys here now. That second bowl prediction, and it may be bolder than the Florida one. And if Biscuits necessary, if you're still here, I want to see what you think about this. But I think Georgia's going 9-3 this year. I think they go 9-3. Gunnar Stockton's good, and I don't put the bowl loss on him necessarily the entire thing because I think he had like 257 yards or 58 yards passing, maybe 262 in that bowl game. But they have brought in some talented wideouts for him to throw to. But I think there's question marks on the offensive line. There's still question marks defensively. The defense wasn't up to a Georgia standard last year, honestly. So I think it's going to be better, but they do get Alabama, at home, but they got Alabama, they got Texas. I really think Florida's going to be improved. I'm sure y'all saw. Okay, yeah. I'm being interested to hear that. 9-3, I think is fairly good. But it's the schedule and it's rough. And I'm sure you guys saw that Auburn is going to host like a Cam Newton, like they're going to retire his number and all that crap during the Georgia game. I was going to pencil in Auburn win that game. Now they're doing all this stupid crap. Georgia's going to kill them by 40. And I, so I don't say that. I don't say that either. Is this Schumann's last year there? That's a good question. That's a very good question. I really think he could probably get a G5 job after the next year. We'll see. Feels like a 3-horse race for the SEC title this year. Texas, Bama, and Georgia. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sold on Texas, and there you go, 9-3. They're going to be good defensively. Offensively, I just don't. I'm not a believer in Arch Manning yet. I think he's living off the name, and that's what's got him by. I've seen video and I've seen his recruiting videos. I think he went to the type of talent he was playing against. I mean, yeah, he was running the score because he was like the best player on the field, and it was a huge drop off between where he was at and everybody else. He took off running in a game I saw, and the kid, the defensive back, the safety, took a bad angle and absolutely whiffed on the tackle. So, I mean, the type of talent he was playing elevated him to up here. I don't think he was at. When they played Georgia last year, his eyes was that freaking big and was like freaking out because he was like, I don't know what's going on. They're he wasn't expecting that. So I think Texas is gonna have their lumps this year. Rick and Bonnie said SEC is wide open. I think LSU, Alabama, Texas, Georgia. We'll see about Ole Miss. Ole Miss is replacing a good bit, but they're very talented, and Lane Kiffin's going to Lane Kiffin, and also he's going to lose a game he shouldn't. So we'll see how good they are. Mike G, LSU and A&M are sleeper teams. Yeah, I'm really high on A&M. I think the early prediction had them maybe eighth. Bossman Hammer, basically SEC. What was the when we did the SEC After Dark show and we had the rankings that come out where they list everybody to finish the year? Wasn't A&M eighth? I know that was on the right hand side. Was it the top 7 here? Then they was on the right hand side at eighth. I think it was Texas, Georgia, Alabama was third or fourth. South Carolina was fifth, and I think they had A&M at eighth or ninth. I think that's way too low for A&M. A&M is going to be sneaky good. Marcel Reed, if he can get get it right here and can become that next level passer, they're going to be really good because Mike Elko is a great coach. I really enjoy his, defensively. He's a great defensive minded coach. I like Eli Holston more coming out that year. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So Rick and Bonnie says South Carolina be dangerous. We'll see South Carolina in a few, this year, and we got to go there. Funny, we got to go to both Columbias this year. Columbia, South Carolina, Columbia, Missouri. I think if you, eighth. Yep, boss man, you're right. It was eighth. So I think that's way too low. I think they can be a top 5 team in the SEC this year. It all depends on Marcel Reed. A&M, yeah, tough as nails. You're right. A&M's got a head coach now. If the boosters leave him alone, I'm sure Bossman can definitely second you on that one. They just leave him alone. He's going to do something there. But South Carolina, I'm intrigued to see how they do this year because last year, a lot of people had them not being that good, and they ended up being 9-3. But I like Beamer as a coach. I like Shane Beamer. He's done a great job there. But Illinois showed us the blueprint on how to stop, their offense, and that is shut down, Lenore Sellers. Once you do that, they don't really move the ball a lot, offensively. And they lost Rocket Sanders. Now they got a good running back in the portal coming in. So we'll see how that goes. But their whole offense is Lenore Sellers being able to run and using his legs. If you stop that, then you stop their offense. So I guarantee you a lot of teams are going to be honing in on that this year. I can see them still winning 8 games. 9-3 may be a stretch. But yeah, I think that they can still win 8 games, but I don't think they're going to be in contention like they were last year. Mike G, I'll come back to your message just a second, Mike. I want to say this here. Yeah, Boosters are bought in. Elko has run of the show as long as he keeps winning. So that's good for A&M because Mike Elko is going to be the guy to boost that program and get them back to where they want to be. Mike G, who's better, Kentucky or Missouri? It's a very good question. I really think, honestly, on paper, Missouri is going to be the better team this year. They bring in a lot of new talent offensively. They lost a lot. Kentucky's lost a lot. And I think the biggest question for Kentucky is if they don't win but maybe 3 to 4 games this year, is Stoops gone? And I'm going to say he is because I think at the end of this year, Iowa's probably going to be looking for a new coach because what's his name up there? He's probably going to retire, and he's probably going to go there. Honestly, I think we're all kind of in agreement. That's probably where he would end up at. So yeah, but I think Missouri is better. Now, let me say this about Missouri, and I said this a few weeks ago. I really feel like the Alabama Missouri game is going to be a trap game, and I'll tell you why. And you can have your thoughts and opinion on this as well. But the reason I think that is it's an 11 a.m. kickoff. It's at Missouri. That game is right after a revenge game in Vandy and right before a revenge game against Tennessee. It's smacked right in the middle. 11 a.m. kickoffs, it don't matter. You can be the number one team in the nation, have 35 blue chip 5-star players on your team. Everyone of them's out on the field. That team is going to struggle on 11 a.m. kickoffs. I don't know what it is. Everybody struggles at 11 a.m. kickoffs. Top teams, that is. Now, the ones who benefit from is the ones who the top teams are playing because they usually get hot early, especially being at their place. They get hot, they get all the momentum, and then you're just crawling and scratching your way back to, and you most of the time they still win the game. The better team does, but it's just a dogfight when it doesn't necessarily have to be. So that could very well turn into a trap game. Now, I really feel like Alabama eventually is going to take over and win that game. But just the 11 a.m. kickoff, the revenge game against Vandy the week before, and then the Tennessee revenge game right after that. It just sets up for a legitimate trap game. So I've got that one circled as well because I want to see how the team responds to that. Missouri has great recruiting grounds. Their 100-mile radius takes in a lot of states. Yeah, that's a good point. We talked about this, and I need to finish up here. I enjoyed talking to you. I'll talk to you guys all night. But we talked about it last week on I think it was last week, Boss Man, on SEC After Dark. It might have been a couple weeks ago, but we talked about why Missouri was when we still had East, SEC West, SEC East had the conference alignment still. Why were they put in the East when Texas A&M was put in the West, and it was just weird. But I think the reason why that was because you would have to push Auburn probably, since they're the further east team. Maybe even Tennessee's already in the East, so you can't move them. Kentucky's in the East, so it would have to fall to Auburn, and you may mess up the Iron Bowl, and the conference is not going to do that. So, that's why they did it like that. Kind of sucked for A&M because they had to play the likes of LSU and Alabama every single year. And most of the time when I give him credit, Johnny Manziel was there. He beat us. And I think Kevin Sumlin got us twice with somebody else. And then I forget, was it Kenny Thrill, Kenny Trill, we call him. And then Jimbo got us a few years ago. But yeah. So anyway, they don't want to break up the Iron Bowl. It was going to mess up a lot of historic rivals like the Iron Bowl. Yep. Later, guys. See you, Rick and Bonnie. Thank you for joining. Tough as nails says Tennessee state of mind has not recovered from the loss of Nico. I'm very interested on where the mindset is, like you said, of Tennessee this year. I think they was probably looking at an 8-win season. Just depends on how their quarterback plays this year. They could easily be a 6-6, 7-5 top team this year. I just think there's a lot of question marks because you don't have a Dylan Sampson. You can just hand the ball to and let him run crazy. So came close a couple of times. Yeah. So A&M has, I wouldn't say has had Alabama's number, but you play as hard, nearly every time we play. I know one year we dog watch y'all. It was like 49-0 or something like that. Other than that, I think every game has been fairly very competitive, unless Alabama has pulled away late in the games. But I really have enjoyed Texas A&M moving to the conference. Just been fun games. So tough as nails going back to Tennessee. Yeah, I think you're looking at a 6-6, 7-5 team this year, and I don't think Harper was going to be on the fired list or the hot seat per se, because he is a good coach. There's just a lot of things going on in that program right now that we probably don't know about. But King Trill, that was a 59-0 game. Okay, it was 59-0. But yeah, man. Guys, thank you all for joining. I need to get off here. I am about to burn up. I'm sweating, and I have no air moving in here, and it is burning me up. I've got to turn my fan on before I got on. I don't want to do it right now. But I enjoyed it. Thank you all for listening. Biscuits SEC. Thank you, boss man, for joining. I'll see you Thursday night. Tough as nails. Thank you, Rick and Bonnie. Thank you, Mike G. Thank you, Tristan. Thank you, everybody else who listened and didn't comment. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. And I'm like I said, every Tuesday night about 5:30, I'm going to try to do this. If I don't, a couple weeks ago I missed because I had something pop up and I couldn't work around. So if something like that happens, just go to my my Twitter. I'll post on there. Bama After Dark 2. That's my Twitter account. Also, Jake Thomas TTS as my main one. So I'll repost it there as well. But yeah, catch us Thursday night. Me, Boss Man, Corey, Jeb. Hopefully Jeb's on. I think he may miss another week, but he should be back for football season. Steven Willis, Mike Huseman as always. Hammer, Boss Man. We're excited. Football season's back, guys, and we'll talk to you then. This has been Bama After Dark. Thank you all for listening. I'm Jake Thomas, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Roll Tide, and let's go, boys. It's 2 weeks. Let's get them done.